Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the next video in our series covering all our Worlds matches as the World Champion, analyzing these games for you, telling you like my thought process and the team's thought process as we go through the games. This is our second match in groups, so yesterday I covered the first match in groups. I wanted to cover some misconceptions. So even if we lost to Seoul, we still would have made it out of groups. So the match didn't actually matter that much. It was more like if it would tilt us. So if it had tilted us, we played bad and we lost to Time to Shine, then it would be a little dangerous. But we actually 2-0'd Time to Shine. I still think we would have 2-0'd even if we lost to Seoul. So Seoul lost to Time to Shine. So how that would work in groups then is that we would make it out of groups. So I still think we would have made it out of groups. However, it's still fun to look back at the match we almost lost in Worlds, whether it mattered or not. So, yeah, a funny story about Time to Shine. This is our second time facing them in groups, and both years we were the world champions. And so, both years we faced Time to Shine in groups, and they didn't make it out of groups. So it's really funny that like it was randomly chosen both times. And what's even more funny is Gek on the enemy team. You can see Gek. He's their tank player, and he was actually my mentor when I first started this game. He taught me a lot because I started this game later than everyone. So when I kind of started the game like 2 months late, I met Gek, who was like one of the top 5 players in the game at the time, and he literally taught me like everything I know about the game now. Obviously, I've learned way more since then, but he really helped me on my journey there. So first game, they first picked Inteleon, I believe. We picked Slowbro Umbreon, and we're just gonna go with our Venusaur comp here. So a little insight into the Venusaur comp, because it didn't exist in regionals for us, is we had one strat that worked really well. It was Blissey, Comfy, Zoroark. I'm sure you guys are well aware. It worked really well. So we had like one strat that was like, it'll destroy any team, right? The issue at regionals was TTV started banning Comfy, banning Blissey, first picking the other one. So they found out how to counter our strat just in draft. So if we can get Blissey, Comfy, Zoroark, at least in regionals meta, we would have won every single game, in my opinion, because that's how good we were at that one strat. However, being good at just one strat isn't good enough. You need at least 2 strats that can beat everything. Like, I'd say if we get Blissey, Comfy, Zoroark, we can beat everything with it. So we found Venusaur to be that other Pokemon that could beat anything, right? So with these 2 strats combined that we can threaten in draft, that's when we really became, in my opinion, the best team. Because after regionals, Overlord really focused on learning Venusaur, becoming really good at this second strat. So we had 2 broken strats we could beat any team with, and so we could not get countered in draft, and we could pick the best strat against that team. So you guys can see it worked out to be really effective, because we tried the variety kind of like, oh, just counter pick the enemy's drafts, but in my opinion that's not good enough. You need to have your own strats that are extremely good, that the opponents have to be scared of to try to counter pick you. So that was our goal. Bot lane's going okay-ish. It's pretty even for now. They are against an Espeon. They do get the mid one, so now they're winning. You can see Venusaur is just gonna gank top, and me and Mew. So it's Slowbro Mew bottom against Inteleon. And if you don't know, Inteleon is supposed to be kind of this auto win lane. Like, it secures Ladinos from 70% HP. So usually in competitive, the team who gets Inteleon wins the lane. Look at the Inteleon's points. 4 points. That means 2 points on tree. They did not get a single farm in lane. Me and kyriaos 6-0'd them. We got every single farm in lane against an Inteleon. So that is just, first off, that is unheard of. I don't think any other team has ever done this in a tournament. Second off, no other team has done this in a tournament against anything, even with Inteleon on their team, but we did it against an Inteleon too. So we were laughing our asses off. I don't know, let me see if I can find the camera. It doesn't show us at all. I wish it did, because me and kyriaos were laughing our asses off, and we're literally hard commenting like, yo, they're fucked bot. They're fucked. They're level 3. And you can see Overlord run bot. He was originally gonna gank top, but as soon as he heard how weak they were bot, he runs bot, and we just run them over bot. He wards out there to see if the jungler's here. And yeah, we're just gonna absolutely destroy them. Don't even hit the bees much. We're just gonna hit them and kill them on pad. They're absolutely fucked. So I mean that was just I talked to Gek after the game because we're still really close friends, and he was like, that's just a mechanical gap. Like, what can I do? So kyriaos invades and steals the blue buff. So they're absolutely fucked off this early game. Like, actually fucked. This is one of the hardest like laning phases we won in the tournament, I think. Even harder than the last game at Worlds, which we stomped pretty hard. So I'd say this was our easiest win. No offense to Time to Shine, because they're a really good team still. I think they had a lot of issues just throughout the year with roster changes, and especially practice, because Lunder was in Japan for 3 months. So I think that really hurt their chances as a team at Worlds. I think if they had a proper team at least for a couple months and had the proper chance to practice, they would have had a really good showing. So you can see kyriaos is level 7 at mid Bs, level 7.5 at 730. So they're just trying to get ASP wherever they can, but since I'm so strong bot, I'm just gonna 1v2 since an Inteleon, so he'll probably get farm even if the Mew's down there, and we're just gonna 4-man top and try to get what value we can top. We are really low though, so you can see we just do the double beam, and Gek ends up going top too. kyriaos almost dies, but he lives. Now kyriaos is just gonna rotate bot for the objective, and we're probably just gonna rip it. I do believe the Inteleon went liquidation. Yeah, he did. So we have a much better secure then, because the Inteleon's not snipe shot, and we're actually they actually sent 4 people bot, so they're gonna try to rip it. They do have Gardevoir actually, which is a decent secure, and they do get it. But that doesn't really matter. We're still way ahead in experience. You can see we have a huge point lead. Still, the levels are in our favor. We have 1-8, 1-9. They have 3 8s. So I mean, the levels on their tanks are going to be a little better now, but it is not the worst at all. And now we're just going to force top here. Maybe fight in mid. Just look to force on the map so we can snowball our lead that we still have. We're going to leave the Wartortle bot alone, because Wartortle will out-secure the tree. So if we left anyone else alone bot, they would struggle to secure against the tree. But Blastoise in that matchup actually hard out-secures. So we're just poking them on pad. Huge flash beam there by Overlord. And yeah, we're just gonna not force too hard because we probably can't push the pad here, but we can start to do the objective. And you can see here, I'm so tanky. Even though they have a Gardevoir, they can't do any damage to me. They're trying to poke me out, and I just heal everything. And we're just gonna continue to do the objective. I'm still living here. They've just been only hitting me for the past 30 seconds. And now the Espeon runs in. That is why Espeon is not a good matchup into Venusaur. If you see what just happened, the Espeon unites, it's standing still. It's a free kill for Venusaur with the beam. So I think that's a terrible matchup for Espeon. Not sure why they picked it into... I guess they thought it was a Petal Dance Venu, but yeah. Beam, like, Solar Beam Venusaur hard counters their team. So they're going to try to hold this, but I believe we're getting Venusaur Unite back soon. And also, like, kyriaos just chunks them anyways. So we don't even need the Venusaur to hard pressure. And I think Overlord tries to score here, but he doesn't get it. So Elo's just going to break, and he's probably going to die for it too. But it is very worth. We are now 200 points in the lead. So honestly, considering the early laning game phase, we could have snowballed this game way harder. We did snowball this game and we're doing pretty well, but I think we could have snowballed it much, much harder than we did. However, that lane phase did allow us to just hard win the rest of this game. They obviously still have a chance at Rayquaza, but there's not much they can do until then. Here, I remember I trolled. So I trolled a couple times this game. This is probably my worst game of the tournament. But I sat in this bush here, and they all walked here because we don't have vision, so I thought they might come from mid because they were mid Bs. And because of that, the Espeon stunned me, so I couldn't stop Gardevoir. If they didn't have an Espeon, I could definitely stop this Gardevoir. Or she didn't stun me, but she slowed me. So yeah, I definitely should have just stood on pad there, or I could stand in one of these bushes. Oh yeah, people said they can't see my cursor, thank you, in the last video. But one of the bushes right next to the pad, like the top or bottom bush right next to the pad there, on the left. So Elo does come up here and stalls them for a really long time, enough for Overlord to get here, one-shot the Gardevoir. So overall, they only got a 40 cap, but I definitely could have stopped that 40 cap from going in, so I definitely trolled my position there. So now, there's not much they can do. They're probably going to try to contest the top regime. Probably not, actually. They're just trying to farm up. I'm fighting with the Trevenant here over the bottom Bs. And yeah, Overlord's just going to kill the Gardevoir. There's really no counterplay into our comp because Mew can go Solar Beam. So you have double poke with double, like triple tank, right? And both our pokes outrange their mons. Because I think they should have gone Snipe Shot and Teleon, honestly, this game. But, yeah, they outrange the Inteleon and Gardevoir. So, I actually did a really good job dodging here. But, like, before they panned the camera to me, I was doing a really good job dodging. I had dodged, like, 20 abilities. But by the time, you can see I dodged the Hornleash. By the time they panned to me, they do finally hit me with an ability. That was, like, the 4th Psychic, and the Gardevoir finally hit me. But I stalled so long that kyriaos is just going to come down here and kill the Gardevoir. So it was really good. And we're going to get the Reggie steal for Rayquaza. So we're up 150 points. We're up a ton of levels. And actually not a ton. I thought we'd be up more levels. The Inteleon's actually higher level than Overlord right now. But Overlord can hit level 14. He's probably doing that right now. So still up levels, but not that much. And we are we have the Registeel buff, which is huge. So this is where I do troll the game a little bit, but thankfully we're winning so hard that it doesn't matter. So the tree walks up here, and in my head I could Scald and back up, right? But the tree hits me with Wood Hammer, Horn Leeches, full CC combo, and I die. However, this death is not that bad. Okay, so I'm dead for 11 seconds. And they got really chunked trying to kill me. So Overlord kills them too, and we hard win the team fight. So that death was not that bad. However, I come back and I do the same thing. I sit in the L bush. I Scald the tree. I'm like, all right, I'm full health, right? Surely they can't. I'm full health. Surely they can't, because tree has Wood Hammers and then Horn Leech. And there's no more CC and I can move, right? So I just had to live through that combo. And I can just unite whoever I want after the combo. But he Wood Hammers me into Horn Leech and I insta-die in 2 seconds. So all I had to do was live through that combo when I'm a full HP Slowbro that just used Amnesia. But the problem is, the reason why I'm dying is it's only against this specific comp, which is Gardevoir, because Gardevoir hard counters Slowbro. It shreds special defense, which the reason Slowbro is so tanky is because Amnesia gives you special defense, but that doesn't matter against Gardevoir. So, and then, so, I hard trolled again, because kyriaos is half HP against a Liquidation Inteleon, so all he can do is stop the cap once and he's gonna die. There's no counterplay for him really, he's just gonna die. And I jump bot instead of top. So not only that, they managed to score bot even though I jump bot, but that wasn't my fault, that was Rinne's fault. So yeah, this is the hard this is they're all looking at my screen, by the way. You see this? They look at my screen because I'm mobile, right? I'm the only mobile player. So they want to see the score ahead of time. And yeah, that was definitely my worst game of the tournament. But it's all good. We were hard winning the game before the Ray fight. Too hard for them to do anything about it. Overlord did 120k. Again, Overlord almost averaged 100k. He actually had an average of 100k damage before Grand Finals. Unfortunately, in Grand Finals, he didn't manage to do enough damage in those games. But yeah. On to Game 2 versus Time to Shine. Kyriaos got MVP of that game. Okay. So also, if you saw, we banned Lapras. We learned from the mistake. If you saw my Soul video, and we banned Lapras. And so they did the same thing where on second pick they banned Lapras. We banned Slowbro. So I believe they had a different ban because we got Slowbro, but with Slowbro ban, Inteleon is very good. The only things that counter Inteleon in the Worlds meta were Blue Urshifu and Lapras. But the thing is that Lapras is banned, and we knew Time to Shine did not play Blue Urshifu very much, but they did play it a little, but we knew they wouldn't prio pick it. So if this was an Asian team, they would pick Urshifu 1-2. However, from my analyst prep, I knew they would never pick Urshifu 1-2. So what we can do is pick Urshi. So that way, there is no counter to Inteleon. Inteleon is just going to be Thanos now. You see in a lot of Worlds games, Inteleon struggled. That's because Lapras and Urshifu counter it, and it's hard to kind of put those both away in draft. But if you draft this way, like we did, where you ban Lapras is not in play, and you get Urshifu, and if they didn't ban Lapras, we would have just first picked Lapras and not gone with an Inteleon comp. But this way, we knew we'd win draft every single time. I'm just gonna go Tree because it's very annoying for the Venusaur if it's Solar Beam. Even if it's Petal Dance, Tree is very good for it. And then it's very good into Leafeon, good into Umbreon and Clefable. So basically the point of our comp is Dodrio, Comfey are gonna hard win the early game and mid game for us, along with Inteleon. Our early game is just Thanos, right? We have hard winning bot, we have hard winning jungle, and our top is not hard winning, but it is into I believe a Blastoise. Not sure if it's Blastoise or Leafeon top, I forgot. But either way, our top goes even, and because our jungle is hard winning early game compared to their Leafeon or Venusaur, whichever one it is, we should be able to snowball the early game. Not to mention our comp is really good late game as well. So after the early mid game, the Comfey goes off Dodrio for the Ray fight and goes on the Urshifu instead. So the Comfey will stay on Dodrio through like the early mid game, and then the idea is it goes on the Urshifu. The Blue Urshifu hard carries the Ray fight for us at 2 minutes. Obviously some things are gonna change, but that is like the ideal plan. So we're gonna have the Comfey leash the entire jungle. If you saw my last video, we did the same strat. We did this strat all through World because the only way that and this is actually another one of our secret strats, you can see. So I'm the Trevenant, and I'm actually leashing the blue buff as well. So what this does is it really counters any invade the enemy team tries to do, as well as makes our Urshifu come out of jungle faster, which allows it to fuck whatever lane it wants early game. So it's gonna clear it really fast. Overlord is doing okay-ish on the top side. Obviously it's hard 1v2. Unfortunately, didn't get that. But yeah, now the Urshi's in lane already at 9:15. So the Leafeon does end up going. Okay, this is really weird. The Leafeon full cleared. Okay, I never recommend full clearing on Leafeon. It's very weird they did that, but yeah. I think that's really troll. If you're playing Leafeon, you should just one buff. So now top lane is absolutely fucked because the Leafeon did that. Yeah, not sure what happened there or why they did that, but the Leafeon ganked bot. The issue is now top lane is hard winning, and we have an Inteleon bot, so we're gonna be able to 2v3 bot very easily against a Leafeon, because we just hard won the first lane. I believe kyriaos said that we 6-0'd again in this game. Let me see. We definitely did not 6-0, so kyriaos is definitely a capper. But I think we 5-1 them, which is pretty good this game. And yeah, the Leafeon's gonna try to dive bot pad, and the Dodrio Comfy is just gonna run bot and kill him. So Overlord did go try attack this game. And the Leafeon's dead now. They're zoned off. There's nowhere they can go. Kyriaos is just gonna finish them off. Did fuck up his thing there, but he wanted to flash out the Solar Blade. Yeah. And then Overlord just scored on pad. I score too? Yeah, I did score. So we got all our scores in. We're just gonna leave now. Actually, Overlord's gonna go for more stacks, and they're gonna leave me alone bot, which I should be fine here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm chilling, and then yeah, looks like Rhinne did die top, so it's bad. I'm not sure what happened there when he died, but he was 1v2. The whole idea was Urshi's like level 6, has buffs, so he shouldn't die. Probably a choke by Rhinne there, but it's fine. We're still hard winning the early game. Overlord's really ahead. He's gonna hit level 9. The bear is still gonna be useful even if he's slightly behind. And I'll just fast forward to B's here. They send 3 top. We have 3 top, so we're just kind of matching numbers right now. And Overlord hard chunks them there. You can see he went this not as known build, which is try attack jump kick. The reason for that is it has really good damage still, while also having really good poke as well. And it has like really good secure, probably better than Drill Peck in my opinion. Maybe Drill Peck's a little better, but I really like the try attack jump kick build. A lot of people question it because they don't play it, so it's probably the hardest. I'd say Dodrio is the hardest Pokemon to learn in the game, and try attack jump kick is like the hardest build to master on Dodrio. So it's only like someone like Overlord that can really pull this build off. There's not many players that could play this build very effectively. But they walk up here. I hit a 2-man stun. They just get chunked to half by the try attack jump kick and Comfy. And we have top objective push in. We're ripping the bottom objective. So there's not much they can do. Overlord's just hard forcing on their pad and they can't even touch him. So we're just going to break bot. And we're going to run top now. Or I believe I run top to try to force it. And we force bot with 3 people with Inteleon Unite. And we're going to force one of these lanes eventually. We're just so ahead that we can force like this. So, yeah, Overlord gets all his scores in. I believe we're not able to push it in top. Or maybe I'm remembering a different game. Yeah, looks like we weren't able to push it in top. They were all here. And I'm just going to leave. Rhinne leaves. But, yeah, we have a 200-point lead once again in this game. We have a huge level lead. So Overlord is literally level 12 at 5 minutes. The enemy team is level 9. Overlord is 3 levels above the enemy team. So it's going to be really hard for them to kill him. And I'm just scouting out top here to see where they are. Overlord scouting out bot. And not much is happening here. We're just making sure to preserve our lead. Trying to play aggressive to steal their farm, right? So the whole idea of playing up this far is we can steal their jungle when it's up. We can score if they're not covering. However, we know that their jungle is down right now because we got vision of it earlier. So there's no need to play very aggressive here. However, they do leave the Venusaur alone. So Overlord sees a free killer. The Leafeon tries to unite Inteleon. Honestly, that should have been a kill for Leafeon. Kyriaos lived on 1 HP, which is unfortunate. And we managed to break bot off of that fight. So yeah, we're just so strong. We kill him so fast. We can score. We're gonna get the bottom objective for free now. Overlord's gonna invade jungle, and you can see Overlord is level 13.5, and the enemy team is level 10. So the EXP lead is somehow getting bigger for us when they have a lot of comeback XP. So we're just gonna score in their base here, and they're gonna force on top. However, I have my tree unite, so I know I can hard fight here. So they try to force on me, which is a mistake. I used my combo perfectly on tree. You can see I was 30% health, and now I'm full health. Overlord kills their entire backline. So yeah, definitely trying to force on a Trevenant there is a really big mistake, especially when I have Unite. So we break their top pad, and now it's a 400-point lead. This was the biggest stomp of the tournament. Even bigger stomp than I believe the last game of Grand Finals. And yeah, so they're gonna get the top one. They're gonna 5-man it. We used a lot of unites, so we don't really want to contest. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna give it. It's better to just let them get this pad. You can see it doesn't really affect much in the overall score because we're scoring in their base in exchange. And as long as we don't die, they're still really fucked on experience. You can see they're all level 11. So sometimes just giving pads is very important, especially when you're getting value across the map. And now the Ray fight, Overlord can just play like a maniac. Now, normally I said the Comfy should be on the Urshifu. However, Overlord is level 15 and the enemy team is very weak. So in this specific game state, it would be better for the Comfy to be on the Dodrio. Just because they're so weak that the Dodrio will never die if it has a Comfy on it. And they probably can't kill an Urshifu. So you can see they mean look me, they beam me to try to chunk me. I'm just going to Horn Leech the Rayquaza to heal up to full health. And Overlord goes in on the backline, unites in. The Venusaur is already half health. Overlord is just going to kill him. And they Blastoise unite. I come in, tree unite 3 people, stun all of them, and they're all dead. So that is GG, the biggest stomp of the tournament. And we're just going to damage farm in their base because they're not allowed to surrender. So I believe I die here. Yeah. But Rhinne comes in and Rhinne actually starts fighting them. And I remember we're like, don't troll, just leave. Like Elo especially was like, stop for funny. And Rhinne was like, all good, I'm not going to die. And he actually didn't die. Yeah, this is, Blue Bear is so broken on LAN. It is so extremely broken. So yeah, he's still alive. And just damage farming. He got like a good like 50k damage in here. So he still lived. And yeah, that is the end of game 2 against Time to Shine. Rid is like, let me damage farm, bro. It's fine. So yeah, we made it out of groups. If we lost to Time to Shine, I think we don't make it out of groups because they did beat India. So this match was very important to win. And you can see the final damage numbers. Both Overlord and Rhinne did over 120k. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you on the next video of this series.